I'm a graduate of Norfolk. I am a graduate of Norfolk State University, as well as the Big Blue Old Dominion University. Is there anyone out there else that's going to represent?
Florida A&M is definitely in the house, representing from the highest of 7 hills.
And the Mecca Howard University is in the house with me and another alumni.
All right.
I want to give a resounding shout out to HU, Hampton University.
Woohoo! I co-sign that.
And I see Cassandra over there. Did you shout out yet?
I did not. I want to give a shout out to the Norfolk State University. That's my alma mater, and I'm representing Virginia State as my son is a recent graduate of the Virginia State University in Petersburg. Thank you.
There we go. All right, so we want to thank everyone this afternoon for coming out. And as you see, you are here to get some information that we know will be very important as you go through the college process. The webinar this afternoon is HBCU and PWI College official webinar for high school students and parents. Our sponsoring chapters are shown below. There are 11 of us in a collaboration, and we will go over these again. Again, I want to say welcome to HBCU and PWI College official panel webinar. We want to thank you for joining us. We want to let you know this webinar will be recorded for future use. Photos may be taken for reporting purposes. We request that all lines be muted to minimize noise and use the chat function to post any comments or questions that you might have. The objectives of this webinar are to help students navigate the college admissions process, share impactful insights from college officials, and to share relevant information related to COVID-19 and its impact. So we want to make this an interactive discussion. A little bit about Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. We are an international Greek letter nonprofit service organization. We were established by African-American women on the campus of Howard University, which is an HBCU, on January 15th, 1908. We have nearly 320,000 members and 1,000 chapters worldwide. Our current international president is Dr. Glenda Baskin-Glover, who is also the president of Tennessee State University. We are dedicated to implementing international programs of service. Under our current leader, we have a program theme of exemplifying excellence through sustainable service. We will address community needs through 5 target program initiatives. Our first one is Target 1, HBCU for Life, a call to action, and our signature program, #CAP. Under Target 2, we address women's health care and wellness. Under Target 3, we focus on building economic legacy. Under Target 4, we focus on the Arch, which covers the Harlem Renaissance, as well as the Black Arts Movement. And under Target 5, we focus on global impact that also addresses the needs of refugees within the United States. Target 1 program initiatives. We will promote HBCUs and share factual information. And under #CAP, we assist high school juniors and seniors throughout the entire college admissions process from start to finish. Our collaborating chapters, as I stated before, there are 11 of us. There are many in the state of Virginia. We go on to Florida, as well as New Jersey. We have Georgia represented, as well as Maryland. And again, we have Florida. Some of our upcoming events that we'd like you to be aware of. On July 31st, there will be another webinar that's going to focus on essay writing and letters of recommendation. We already have that open so that you may register, and we do invite you to attend. It is a public event, and we hope that you will share the information with your friends, classmates, and students. Another upcoming event is being hosted by a CEO who is also one of our members of the organization, and that is Dr. Christie Murray. She will have a virtual Youth College Excellence Summit that will be held on August 13th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and on August 14th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. We hope that you'll finish your summer out by getting the top college admissions and funding strategies to help get you accepted into college and to graduate debt-free. Students attending both days will have opportunities to win, and this is real important, some on-the-spot scholarships that will be awarded, as well as other giveaways. Again, that national speaker is Dr. Christie Murray, who is the CEO. She's an author. She's also a college admissions and funding expert. Types of schools and colleges. There are well over 2,000 colleges in the United States, ranging from vocational, trade school, where you can learn a skill or a trade for a specific job, focusing maybe on electricians, auto mechanics, as an HVAC technician, a plumber, a dental hygienist, etc. Most of those programs are about 2 years, and when you complete those programs, you normally will obtain a license, a certification, or a certificate. Another type of school might be a 2-year college, where these include the community or junior college, and upon completion, you normally will receive an associate degree. And the 4-year colleges, of course, require that you do undergraduate coursework, and upon completion, you will usually receive a bachelor's degree. Public versus private college. You want to know, what are the types of colleges? Well, some are public. Public colleges are primarily funded by federal and state government funds. They're usually larger than private schools. They usually offer in-state tuition to students who live in the state and out-of-state tuition for those who live out of the state. They're likely to pay more. Private colleges, they often operate as an educational nonprofit organization. There is no primary funding from the government, and there is one tuition rate, whether you're in-state or out-of-state. They typically do cost more than public schools. Predominantly white institutions. These are institutions of higher learning. They usually are 4-year colleges and universities. Whites do typically make up 50% or more of the student population. They can be either public or private, and there are more than 9 million students based on when this was taken. There are more than 9 million students that attend PWIs in the United States. Historically, Black colleges and universities, referred to as HBCUs, they have existed for almost 200 years. When African Americans were unable to pursue an education at white institutions, HBCUs were created to help educate African Americans. There are currently 107 in the United States, with more than 228,000 students enrolled. They can either be public or private, and they do typically provide a more affordable education. Today, our college official panel will be moderated by Michelle J. Lambert of Nu Zeta Omega Chapter. We have college panelists listed here. There are 6 representing PWIs and HBCUs.
Thank you so much, and greetings, everyone. I am your moderator for today's discussion, MJ Lambert. I had the pleasure of attending an HBCU and PWIs, so I bring with me quite a bit of experience, and I'm hoping that your selections will be the best choices for you. There are some specific reasons why it's important for students to attend college, and I'd like to share a very short list before we get started, and I'm sure that our panelists will weigh in on this. Number 1, you will expand your potential earnings, create long-lasting relationships and potential connections, and I know all of us who've attended college can attest to that. We have some long-lasting relationships, achieve job security, explore different career options, experience independence. Yes, there will come a time when you will not be in your parents' home and you will need to be able to care for yourselves. It's something that I tell my 2 college graduates, one of whom attended HBCU, Hampton University, and the other a PWI, University of Maryland. But at this time, I want to give those panelists an opportunity to share the wealth and the reasons why their college is the best choice for you. At this time, I would like to give a shout out to College of Charleston. I would also like to say hello to the following persons who are actually here to have a conversation with us this afternoon. So let me begin by shouting out Ayanna Booker, Norfolk State University, Dr. Giovanni Felix, NCCU, Kenyatta Grimmage, College of Charleston. If you three persons, beginning with Ms. Booker, can take a look at the screen and introduce yourselves, and be sure to share the information that you also see in front of you. Why should students attend your university? What are the average class sizes? Some students really want to go to a larger school, and others will feel very comfortable and at home at a smaller university. What does your college offer that sets the college apart from others? Yes, shout your school out. What is your 4-year graduation rate? Why is that important? And when do you have to declare a major? Inquiring minds here really want to know. And lastly, how many undergraduate students attend your school? Ayanna, can you come on and start us off with this conversation? Again, Ayanna Booker is representing Norfolk State University today. Ayanna?
Greetings and behold, everyone. My name is Miss Ayanna Booker, and I serve as an admissions counselor here in Norfolk State. I want to first start off by thanking my amazing sisters of all of the hosting chapters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated for hosting this event today. And I also want to thank you all for taking the steps to prepare for your future. So without further ado, I present to you the Norfolk State University.
Behold, has a special meaning at Norfolk State University. It exemplifies knowledge, hard work, perseverance, and striving towards success. Since 1935, Spartans have walked these grounds, ready to take on the challenges of the times, transform lives, and realize dreams. We are a state-of-the-art institution, preparing students to take on the modern world with innovative coursework, experiential learning, and cutting-edge degrees. As NSU celebrates its 85th year, the green and gold tradition continues.
So just a little bit about the university. Our average class size is about 18 to 1. So you get that individualized connection with your professors. Some of our top majors are mass comm, psychology, cybersecurity, social work, psychology as well. Also on our campus, one of the things that sets us apart is our world-renowned nursing program. We have a partnership with Eastern Virginia Medical School, which is an internationally recognized research hospital located right here in our backyard. And we have a bridge program with them. In addition, some of the other things that you all may want to know, psychology was our largest graduating program last year. So that is another big program here on our university. So I look forward to speaking with you all. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat.
Thank you so much, Ms. Booker. That was very exciting information that you shared with us, the green and gold. I heard nursing, I heard psychology is a big, wonderful program that is offered. And Norfolk State is also a state-of-the-arts university. Now, we would like to hear in comparison, and yes, we do compare, we compete, and we're all the same as HBCUs, but we want to have Giovanni Felix, Dr. Giovanni Felix, come on and talk to us about NCCU.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, good. My name is Giovanni Felix. I'm the Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Also a proud member of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So I'm very thankful for the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority for inviting me. I'm here. I've worked about 20 years in higher education, specifically with assisting students transitioning to college, particularly first generation, low income, homeless, foster care. So I'm all about getting students to whatever school it is that you want to go to get you to the right fit. In regards to North Carolina Central University, we're a 4-year publicly historically HBCU, founded in 1910. We've been ranked consistently in the top 15 for the HBCUs in the South by U.S. News and World Reports. Our flagship programs are in sciences, education, law, business, nursing, and arts. We offer 33 degrees in the bachelor's area, 27 master's degree, and 2 doctoral degrees. Our average price is about $14,000 a year. SAT and ACT is not currently required, but it's considered. and a minimum GPA of 2.50. Our four-year graduation rate is about 51%. Our freshman to sophomore retention rate is 73.6%. And our ratio for faculty to student is 16:1, with the average class size about 22. In regards to why North Carolina Central University, we're kind of part of this area called the Research Triangle, which consists of Raleigh, Durham, and also Chapel Hill, where we have about 16 colleges and universities, 40 medical centers, and a host of high-tech industries where there's a lot of research going into those areas. So if you're really big on research and the sciences, this is a great place to come. Also, we are, in terms of Central itself, we're really big on student first. We really take the motto in loco parentis, which means in lieu of the parents, when the parents aren't there, we take our students' livelihood and care seriously as if we were their parents themselves. And that's something really big about us. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit more later in regards to it, COVID and how things have changed. So if you guys are interested in coming to North Carolina Central University, we'd love to have you. Great place to be. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Felix. Excellent representation for your school, NCCU. I heard science, law, education, nursing, the arts, and I love your slogan, students first. It's a place where parents can send their students and feel like they're at home because there are folks there who are really caring about them. Thank you so very much for sharing that information. We look forward to hearing more during the panel discussion. And now we would like to welcome College of Charleston's Kenyatta Grimmage. Kenyatta, come on board and share a little bit about College of Charleston with us.
Good afternoon. I bring you greetings from the College of Charleston, located in the beautiful city of Charleston, South Carolina. I am a graduate of HBCU South Carolina State University, and I've heard I think the moderator spoke about having that dual kind of thing of graduated from an HBCU and then attending a PWI. I also attended a PWI for my graduate degree, and now I've landed at a PWI at the College of Charleston for the past 12 years, where all of my experiences at an HBCU are what informs everything, all the work that I do as it pertains to diversity at the College of Charleston. So I say that to say to you guys, I am team HBCU, but because of people like myself and Giovanni, Dr. Felix, Giovanni wasn't doctor when I first met him, but now he's doctor. I got to give him his, his roses. That's my dude, and he's a fraternity brother of mine. So and we got our experiences go way back in trio programs. So that same type of wrapping of the arms that trio programs do is what both of us do at our universities when we take care of our students. So that being said, the College of Charleston is a 4-year public university located in Charleston, South Carolina. Our 4-year graduation rate is around 71%. Top majors at the college are biology. All of the sciences pretty much, because Charleston is located on the coast, obviously tourism is huge. Our hospitality and tourism program is one of the top in the nation. We also, just recently, we have a nursing program at the College of Charleston, and that's huge for us because the college is traditionally a liberal arts college. So we, listen to our students, and we're bringing in the sciences. So we have a new 5-year dual degree nursing program at the College of Charleston. We also have 2 new engineering programs. One is systems engineering, and we have electrical engineering now at the College of Charleston. The thing that makes the College of Charleston unique is that the college is actually the 13th oldest college in the nation. We are around 252 years old. So we've been doing education for quite a long time. So I think we got a handle of it at the college. Average class size of the College of Charleston is around 22 students. There's a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you'll get that one-on-one experience with your professors. They'll know your name. No huge class sizes unless you're in one of the science labs. I'm here to answer any questions. I know we have some great questions coming up on this panel, and I'm excited to be here today. And I'm happy to be coming and doing this event with our Soros, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Mr. Grimmage, we are so delighted to have you and also your brother Giovanni, Dr. Giovanni Felix, here to join us this afternoon as well. Wow, your colleges both have similarities with the focus on science. And you know, this is a time when science is such an interesting and desired profession for our students. And we're excited that each one of you spoke so highly about the sciences that you offer at your schools. I love the way you talked about the sororities and fraternities, mentioning yours. The whole value, as I spoke about earlier, connections in school is so very important. And that you shouted us out shows that we also have a connection, that you will come on here and be able to talk to our students and to encourage them, not just to go to HBCUs, but PWIs as well. And so at this time, I think it's about time for us to begin our panel discussions. I'm going to ask a general question, and absolutely feel free to chime right in if you feel that the question is something that you would like to answer for our students. I'm going to get started with the very first question. Why should students attend your university? I know you mentioned it, but here's a time to really bring that home for them. Why should students attend your particular university?
I'll start. Okay, so when I speak to students, I always tell students, when you choose a college, you're choosing the city that that college is located in, right? If you look across the South, there's no faster growing city than Charleston right now. Everything from, like I spoke of, the sciences to we're becoming a mecca for the automotive industry with Boeing, the world leader in aerospace technology there in Charleston. We have now Mercedes that has a plant there. They're building electrical vans there. And now we have Volvo now there down in Charleston as well. So I say, when I talk to students, hey, when you choose that particular college, make sure you're choosing a college that's in a city that's going to provide you with opportunities, right? Our school of business is ranked top 10 in the nation for students who graduate and get a job. For all of those reasons that I listed. We are 5 minutes down the road from the Medical University of South Carolina, where all of our students matriculate in. They don't like to talk about it, but our students do get a nudge when they apply to medical school to MUSC, you know. So the College of Charleston is in the center of it all, you know. So when you think about a college, you're choosing the city that college is located in, and make sure that city is providing you with the opportunity. I think, you know, based on those things that I listed, the College of Charleston would be a great opportunity for any student.
Thank you. The floor is still open with that same question. Would anybody else like to just give a little bit more information about why your college would be the best choice for any student?
I can go ahead. In regards to North Carolina Central University, on top of what Mr. Grimmage said, also, when we talk to students, we just say not only about the opportunities, but you're going to be living there for the next 4 years. And so you also need to be able to be comfortable. And one of the things I particularly like about the Raleigh-Durham area is, regardless of where you are from, you can find something to match it, whether it's the city life or whether it's the rural. Matter of fact, North Carolina, at our school, we actually have an initiative to really attract and try to go ahead and recruit rural students. So if we're recruiting rural students, we also make sure that we provide them services that make them transition well. One of the things too is, for a lot of our students, and this is really great in terms of economics, is when they're looking for potentially for internships, we literally have hundreds of companies within the tri-state area, the tri-city area, where individuals can go. Everything from Lenovo, IBM, Cisco, to all of the medical facilities. So it's also a great place where you can easily venture out to do internships and to work while still staying right where your school is located. So.
I've heard both of you talk about the fact that location matters. Students, if there are any of you who would like to weigh in and ask a question, you are truly among friends when you're here with us. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to be able to feel like you can ask questions, and don't be shy, because your college experience is going to require it anyway. Don't leave here with questions. So please feel free to reach out to us during this presentation. Either put your information in the chat or raise your hand and we will absolutely give you the mic. Please let's continue with this discussion about what makes your college the most entertaining, the most academic, the best place in terms of location for students to attend.
So I will say here in Norfolk State, we are redefining the HBCU experience. So in Norfolk State, we're building new buildings on campus every year until 2026. So in a few years, our entire campus will be completely renovated. Not only that, we have partnerships with some of the top Fortune 500 companies in the world. Just to name a few, we have a partnership with Netflix. Our students are doing paid internships and learning how to do programming. We have an Apple Innovation Program. All of our incoming freshmen will receive iPads, AirPods, and the keyboards to come with the bundle. We give you the tools you need to succeed. Another thing that we have in Norfolk State, we're a very innovative university. President Joe Biden just gave us a $1.2 million grant to develop our cybersecurity programs. So whether you're interested in cybersecurity, if you're interested in mass comm, we have CNN Studios rival technology in our mass comm department. We have 2 recording studios. We have our brand new nursing facility. So we literally have something here for everyone. And it's just an amazing experience going to a HBCU.
Excellent information. Students, I want to encourage your participation. So if you will, in the chat, I want you to put in there a yes if the idea of receiving technology in a school that's going to do everything that they can do to make you succeed is something that says yes to you. Go ahead and put a Y in the chat if that appeals to you, parents as well. As we continue, I'm going to move along with the, I see some yeses coming up here. Oh my goodness, Norfolk State. I want to also continue with our discussion as the students let us know that that sounds real good to them. Please let us know, when do you have to declare a major? Some students feel like they have to have it all figured out, and that may even be a deterrent because who knows what you want to do when you're 18 years old? What do colleges do to support students who need to figure out themselves in what direction to go? And how soon do you need to declare a major? Anyone can answer that question.
Well, at the College of Charleston, you have up until the second semester of your sophomore year to declare a major. The idea is that most students, when they come in, they change their major 1, 2, 3 times before they, really figure out what they want to do. So we give them that time to kind of figure it out. If you're interested, you think you're interested in biology, take your biology class. If you have a hobby that you like music or sing or dance, take one of those classes to kind of figure it out. So I always tell students you can kind of customize a degree path for yourself, right? When you come in, you'll get a advisor. It's not an academic advisor, general academic advisor to kind of help steer you, help you out, figure out what your interests are, put them together to create a degree path for yourself. And then once you have declared a major, you'll get a major advisor, someone who's actually in that particular department to help guide you on what you need to do to graduate. So there's no pressure. A lot of kids, like you say, the kids are, it's overwhelming to kind of start thinking about what you want to be in life, so we give you that time to kind of figure it out.
Okay.
At Norfolk State University, we offer a major called Interdisciplinary Studies. That's for our undecided students. So if you asked me at 18 what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, I probably wouldn't have been able to answer it either. So for those students, your first 2 years, you're taking general education courses. So you're getting your maths, your Englishes, your sciences out of the way. And then you can pick electives from majors that interest you. So it gives you time to peruse what you like. And then by your second semester, sophomore year, that's when you would declare your major. And then another service that you all can utilize when you're researching your schools, when you're doing your college tours, stop by the academic advising office, sit down, have conversations with advisors or even your admissions counselors. When I'm out on the road, I always ask my students, what do you like to do? And from there, we can figure out a career or educational path that will suit you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to just say out loud too, that yes, you don't have to declare a major, but if you do know what your major is going to be, that's also a feather in your cap. You ask why. because there are opportunities for scholarship that you may not even be able to get if you don't know that. If you do, that's great, but you absolutely don't have to. But once again, that provides you with yet another opportunity, ways to pay for college. So consider it and think about that. Just like you're in high school, college is really not that different. You've been preparing for this since kindergarten. Each year got a little bit more challenging, but not really. It expands in your knowledge and you get to use what you've learned to know. The same kind of transition is going to happen to you having greater independence when you get in college. I love what I heard from Ms. Booker from Norfolk State. She's telling you to seek information, ask questions. I also heard from Dr. Felix to go forward and ask for the help and the assistance that you need. And Mr. Grimmage also has mirrored the same feelings. There's a question in the chat that says, for the next 4 years, where will you live? You might want to know that. Consider college is your home away from home. Let's state that. Location is important. Urban or small, what do you want to do? And that's also an important decision. In the chat, students and parents, would you prefer for your student to attend a location where the school is smaller or larger? Put an S in there for smaller, put an L in the chat for larger. We want to hear what you think. In the meantime, while you're thinking about that, I am going to go ahead and ask another question. How many undergraduate students attend your school? When you have your enrollment, how many students do you typically enroll in a freshman class?
At the College of Charleston, we tinkle around 10,000 undergraduate students. It could, it varies, right around between, I say 9,500 to 10,000 students. So we're considered a medium-sized liberal arts college. Each year we enroll a class that's the size of between 22 and 2,300 students.
Yeah, North Carolina Central, we hover around a total of about 7,000 undergrad, actually about 7,600 total undergrad. So we probably take in about 1,500 to come in. On a side note, I guess one thing I do kind of want to mention, and since this is for juniors and seniors who are looking into colleges, one of the things that's kind of interesting when you are applying to schools and getting information back whether you've been accepted, pay attention to that financial aid package. A lot of schools sometimes have the tendency to send those packages a little bit later. About, oh, I've been to this particular school, but when the packet comes back, it's not as attractive as they would have wished. So that's also something to kind of pay attention to. Schools have gotten much better since President Obama back in the day changed how FAFSA is actually calculated and when you could actually file for it, but that is also something to kind of consider. So I just wanted to put that in there because that just popped in my head and something that's kind of really important when selecting a school.
I noticed the way you brought that up, and it really is. Are you about to say something, Ms. Booker? Okay, so if no one wants to weigh in on that question, I would like to move ahead and talk about some other admissions type questions that may be helpful for students and have you answer those. The first one being, what are some of the common mistakes students make when applying for college that you've noticed?
So I would love to answer that question. And just going back to the last question, Norfolk State, when you compare us amongst other universities in the country, we are a smaller school. But when you compare us specifically to HBCUs, we're a medium-sized school. Our average enrollment of undergraduate admissions is a little over 4,000. And our incoming class, we're looking for about 1,200 students to enroll. But great question. What are some common mistakes? So as an admissions counselor, I am the one that is reading your essays. I'm the one that's making decisions on your application. And the major mistake that I see, students are not double checking their work. They're not rereading these essays. You would be so surprised. I have a student with a 4.0 submitting an essay, but you're addressing Virginia State University. This is Norfolk State. Right there, I'm seeing that you're not prepared for academic rigor on the collegiate level. No matter what your 4.0 shows, you're not taking the basic steps to just reread your work and double check. So when you're submitting your essays, guys, please just make sure you're addressing it to the right university and you're answering the right prompts. Most times you can use the same essay for every school that you apply to. Just please make sure you change the name.
Thank you. That's excellent advice. Do we have some additional information from our other two panelists on the common mistakes that students make when applying to college?
I'm glad Ms. Booker brought up the essay. As a former English teacher and I have an undergraduate degree in English. The essay is very important for me because I am a product of a story. I have a story, so I'm always looking for a story, right? I'm always looking for. I always tell students, I do a essay writing workshop, and I always tell students that your goal in the essay is not to impress us, but to endear us. When I finish reading your essay, I want to feel like I like you as a person, and I want to get to know you better, right? I don't want it to be all about, how you were, you've been taking all these academic courses and stuff, because I can look at your transcript and see that stuff, right? All that stuff is impressive. I want to know you as a person. I want to know your story. I want to know some of the things that motivate you to want to go to college and achieve greatness, so those are the things that I'm looking for. And I do agree with Ms. Booker. I can't tell you how many essays I read that are addressed to, University of South Carolina and addressed to Coastal Carolina and some of the HBCUs that are similar to the College of Charleston. So just, looking over your work and having your English teacher at your school look over your work. Grammar is very important to me as well, because I feel like seniors going into college need to be writing at a certain level. No matter what job you choose in the future, writing is very critical for that job, right? I know this generation of students, you were born with a technology in your hands, so everything is please don't write like you text, please. Check over your work. And also another common mistake is that students who see optional, they decide not to do. Optional to them says, oh, I don't have to do it, right? Most of our essay process is an optional essay, right? We want an optional writing piece, just to see what level you're writing on and see where you're at. If you have a story, unique story, we want to, obviously know that so we can advocate for you. But just because it says optional doesn't mean you don't do it. Please do that essay. I always tell people that essay is the only part of your application that's personal, right? Do you want to be judged on your academics and your rigor of your coursework, your transcript, your GPA, your class rank, or do you want people to know who you are as a person? Because oftentimes for me, knowing you as a person kind of weighs a little bit more heavier to me than academics. Definitely academics is what's going to get you in the door, but what sells you to me is knowing someone who, despite obstacles that they will face in college, will be able to overcome them because of the story that they tell me through their essay. So it's very important.
So very important for students to use the information that you've learned and gained all of your high school career, particularly about proofreading. And what an endorsement about the value of what you're learning, that it's going to be put to practical use. And here's some of your first opportunity when you are applying to college. So absolutely take the time to look over your essays thoroughly before you submit. And now another very important topic with respect to applying to college comes up about the testing that takes place for entrance, like your ACTs and your SAT. How should students consider the ACT and SAT options for admissions? Panelists?
I would think in the same vein, not a personal so what could be odds of us accepting it. So I always, even if your institution is not, whatever you're applying to, is not necessarily requiring it. It's kind of a unique time, right? So definitely, I will say take it, because some merit-based aid or scholarships may be tied to that SAT, even though the entrance is not.
Thank you so very much. Just to circle back to our chat, the majority of students who did respond to the question on size for college said they prefer to go to a reasonably small college, and that's absolutely a great choice. Knowing yourself is critical to your success in college as well. So I have another question. How has COVID-19 affected the college admissions process in your school? What assurances can students have that they will receive adequate education during COVID? And I know this may be a question for parents, with the majority of institutions offering remote learning.
So here in Norfolk State, we were blessed to weather the COVID storm so gracefully. During the past 2 years, we have not shut down. So our campus has been open throughout COVID, and our numbers have remained low. Just on campus, to name a few things, for example, we offer temperature checks. We offer gauges for students. During COVID, we had a lockdown for dorms, so there were no outside guests to bring in any unwanted germs or anything like that. So fortunately, we were blessed. We went on with regular life here in Norfolk State. I was still at work every day. Unlike some people I know that, got to telework, we didn't have that option because things were still in person. However, we do offer some online classes for those students. But when it comes to the admissions process, the only thing that generally changed was our SAT and ACT requirements. So what I can say to that, when you're doing research for the school you want to go to, just look at their academic admissions requirements. Certain schools require different things as far as admissions. So let's say you take the SAT or the ACT and you don't score that well. You wouldn't want to provide that because that could hinder your acceptance. But if you're going to a school that's test optional, please always take the test. It cannot hurt you. At Norfolk State, we are test optional, so you do not need a SAT or an ACT. However, if I see a student that comes in with an SAT or ACT and they have an essay, that's showing me you're going the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows that you have some sort of something to offer us because you're not doing the bare minimum.
At the College of Charleston, we also weathered the storm. Actually, a lot of our COVID-19 precautions are still in place. We do weekly testing, free testing for students, faculty, and staff members on campus in collaboration with the Medical University of South Carolina. And we've been able to keep our numbers fairly low at the College of Charleston. So I can, say to you guys that shouldn't be one of your worries. Like Ms. Booker, the only thing that really changed during our admission process during COVID was the fact that we went test optional, which most colleges decided to do during COVID as well. Don't know how much longer we're going to be test optional, but I do see it for the foreseeable future for the next 2-3 years. That being said, just like Ms. Booker said, take the test. It can't hurt you. If you score well on the test and you submit it, it all can help you in the long run as it pertains to getting additional scholarship and funding. So, and then for state scholarships in the state of South Carolina, you have to have an ACT or SAT. So if you're looking to come to school in the state of South Carolina and you want to capitalize on Life, Palmetto, or Hope scholarships, then you would need a test score to be submitted for those.
And at North Carolina Central, we managed to keep less than a 2% infected rate. So we actually spoke at the purpose of us taking care of COVID isolation and was isolation in actual residence hall. So the student positive, move them to a fully where they're able to not even stop with their courses, because all of our courses are mirrored online. So that was one of the things that happened that we're pretty sure we're gonna keep that forever, because from here on out, you can imagine if anything ever happens, the last thing you want to do is necessarily break up the continuity of in the middle of a semester, because the biggest thing is these students came here to get the degree and we want to make sure that that's there. So in terms for admissions, it's the same thing, the test optional. Just to be honest with you, if you're a junior or senior about to go and select a school, you're at the best place ever probably in higher ed in terms of your choices. That SAT and ACT being test optional for almost all the schools is huge, because if you know statistically, certain populations don't do really well on those scores, right? And so this is now opening the floodgates in terms of some access to different schools that you may not have had before. So this is a great time to really shop and pick the right school that you want to go to.
Thank you all. I think there's some little bit of feedback. Are you all experiencing feedback from us? A little bit, okay. We'll try to you kind of move your computer around a little bit. Sometimes that helps it. If it gets too bad, please put it in the chat and we will try to make some kind of adjustments with that. I want to move on to the whole idea of developing relationships. You know, college is not a place only for students to obtain an education like we talked about before, but it's also a place to begin those young adult relationships that can move into, let me just say it, marriage. It can move into belonging to organizations where you have lasting relationships. It can also build on opportunities for jobs and for you even to be persons who assist other students to come forward. You are really honing your personal development skills that they will be for a lifetime that you will be having those. So what ways can students, especially first-year students, begin to form formidable relationships with others at your schools?
So I would always suggest, please get involved. When I meet these kids, a lot of them tell me that they're very shy. They don't like talking to people. I cannot stress enough, your network is your network. You never know who you're sitting beside today can potentially get you a job, an interview, or just put your name in rooms that you may not necessarily be in. So at Norfolk State University, I also serve as a co-advisor for our Student Ambassador Organization, which is one of our premier organizations aside from SGA. And with that, those students are the face of the university. So they're able to get access to a lot of events and a lot of networking opportunities that the traditional student wouldn't be able to. For example, I have a student that is offered, he was able to receive our Gucci Scholars Program, and he was also named Forbes 30 Under 30 this past year. His name is McKinley Lowry. He has now gone on to accept a 6-figure offer. He just graduated this May at Ernst & Young. So we're so proud of him. But he's also speaking about being involved in our alumni organizations to give our students those opportunities that he had. So I would just say get involved, whether you want to be in a Greek letter organization, you want to be in a liberal arts organization, there's literally something for everyone. Specifically at Norfolk State, we have over 131 organizations on our campus. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be involved.
Definitely, relationships are everything. I can't stress that enough. Ms. Booker hit it right on the head. Your network, the people you're attached to, associated with, your network is your net worth, right? You never know what somebody sitting next to you will be able to do for you in the future. You never know what that relationship will turn into. Some of my best friends, my brothers, my fraternity brothers, are the guys that, you know, are doing some amazing things, you know, in their profession, and I can call on them, you know, anytime that I want to, anytime I need to. You know, those lifelong relationships that you build will be the catalyst to help you become the person that you want to be in the future. At the College of Charleston, we have a great program called Spectra. Spectra stands for Speedy Consolidation and Transition. During the summer, prior to you coming to the College of Charleston, you're able to come on campus for 2 months during the summer. And during that month, I'm sorry, it's 1 month, it's the month of July to August. And during that month, you get to take 2 free classes, right? So what that does is allow you to establish a GPA. The great thing about the program is that the special program is for minority students. So, and we accept over 100 students in that program each and every year, right? So it creates that pipeline, right? So you already have 99 other friends when you come on the campus. So it takes that shock value away. You know, I saw a lot of students put in the chat, they didn't want to go to a smaller university. Well, no matter if you go to a small or a big university, when you get on that campus for the first time, it's a little overwhelming, you know. So what Spectra does is allow you to already have 99 other friends. You already know where your resources that are on campus, your support services on campus. So it kind of takes that shock value away, and you're more acclimated to the community at the campus prior to any other student coming to campus. So that's been a great program. It's been at the College of Charter for over 45 years. And the success rates on that program are out of the roof when you talk about students who matriculate to graduation. So I think programs like that at any university are critical for students, especially minority students, that get acclimated no matter if they go to a PWI or HBCU.
Outstanding feedback, absolutely. And you know, some of the best friends that I gained in college the first year was in my dorm. Can you talk a little bit for us about what are the options for student living when you get on college?
At North Carolina Central, and we're just really happy. We just did a groundbreaking about a month ago. 3 brand new residential halls, that's unheard of at PWIs or any HBCU. We launched all 3. One of the biggest things that goes back to investing in the student is we really feel, and based on feedback, that the students need to be extremely comfortable. So right now, almost all of our students who are coming to stay on campus, they're getting brand new dorms that are mostly suite style residence halls with brand new appliances. There's no more, when I was in college, they had that, what do you call it? They had the format where basically there was like 1 bathroom down the hallway and showers there. This is not, at the most you're probably sharing is a bathroom with 3 or 4 people. But now it's not 30 people with one actual bathroom. So we've actually believe in the standard of living for students, because once again, you're coming and choosing us. And that's a big thing too. So I want to step aside to say this real quick. Realize that all these schools that you're applying to, don't think of it as you're lucky to be accepted to their institution. They're also lucky to have you. Yeah. Because based on us having you too, we are expecting that our graduation rate's going to go up, our retention rate's going to go up, that we're going to get more money to do more things. So it's also us being lucky to have you. So if we're going to be lucky to have you, we also need to invest in you as our client to make sure that you are comfortable. So, yeah.
At Norfolk State, we offer 10 residential communities for our students. So we reward you for your grades. So if you come to Norfolk State with over a 3.0, you're going to be in our honors dorm. So we offer suite style, traditional style, and then apartment style. We have a brand new student dorm. We're currently renovating some of our other dorms. So there's a lot to offer. In addition, we like to give our students all the resources that they need. So for example, once a month, we have personal trainers come in and train our students. We have gyms in every residential community. We have about 8 dining halls on our campus. So you're definitely gonna eat well at a HBCU. So there's so many options. So just pick the right one for you, because like everyone on this panel has said, this is your home away from home. You're literally gonna be here for the next 4 years of your life. So you wanna be comfortable.
Thank you so much. Excellent feedback. Now, I would like to see if everyone here can help us with this question in the chat. How many of you participated in any kind of extracurricular activity when you were in college? Go ahead and put that in the chat. That's for parents, that's for any participating guests and students. You too can participate by absolutely sharing with us what you're doing in high school. You absolutely can do it in college in most cases, or what you've seen that you would like to experience as an extracurricular in college. I'm saying that folks have said that they have participated. Can anybody tell us what you did? Were you on band? Somebody has told us they were in the concert band when they were in college. Anyone else want to share? What were the activities that you participated? Dance team, marching band, Army ROTC. Are there any students who are currently enrolled in ROTC? Ignite, DECA, National Honor Society, Color Guard. I worked in the radio station. That is what Dr. Felix has told us. NAACP, gospel choir, Black Student Union, business organization, student council. There literally is something for everyone. Even if you don't think that you know you want to do it, it's there. And those relationships can lead you into areas that you never even dreamed you want to do. I know that there were times when I did things and explored because the friends that I knew, they did it and they were positives. And so I want to encourage you to, when you're looking at your colleges, make sure that you are looking at what opportunities you have to grow as an individual. And I would like for Mr. Crimmage, Dr. Felix, and also Ms. Booker to go ahead and weigh in for us about the premier opportunities that students have for extracurriculars at your college. And of course, Vicki Hobbs has told us she absolutely did some volunteering for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much. Let us continue.
All right, I'll start off, I guess. Since we are heavy HBCU presence on this panel and in this conversation, we just to talk a little bit about the College of Charleston, we do have fraternity sorority life. About 15% of our students participate in fraternity sorority life. We do have the Divine Nine Greek letter organizations on our campus currently, and most of them just came out with lines this past spring, so it was great. Took me back a little bit to the HBCU experience. And then also we have 250 clubs and organizations on campus, so it's something for everyone. If you don't see something on campus, all you have to do is get 5 other like-minded individuals and make your pitch to our Student Government Association, and they'll give you money to start up that particular club or organization. So that being said, you can go to college and participate in pretty much anything that you want to participate in. There are opportunities galore. There's opportunities to volunteer on campus and off campus in the city. So I say that to say to you guys, I think someone spoke on it earlier, get involved. You know, the stats are heavily in favor of students who get involved in college. That shows that they matriculate to graduation because they're involved. If you come to college, you think you're just gonna go to your room, go to class, you're not gonna survive. There needs to be a balance between academics and your social life, being involved, doing volunteering, doing stuff around campus as well.
Well, I'll go ahead and also agree with Mr. Grimmage. You have about 200 plus organizations. Interestingly enough, so I'm actually the one in charge of providing funds to all the organizations. So we're always encouraging organizations to do something. And like I said, there's been individuals who said, hey, I'm interested in a particular thing, but I don't really think I have an organization that I found. Tell them, go ahead and start one. You even provide the students with money. They can have an organization, whether it's volunteering, whether it's something based on entrepreneurship, whatever it is, you get to do it. But yes, if you are one of these students who, and this is another reason why it's very important to stay on campus, if there's a campus involved at the school you're going to go to. A lot of our students who we end up finding aren't doing so great are the ones who didn't get that on-campus experience their first year or two, right? Because by being on campus, you really get ingrained to all the stuff that's going on. You really get to open up, and you ever realize majority of the time you're coming there with a whole bunch of other students who don't know anybody either. So everybody's kind of eager to to get to know people and figure out what it is that they can do. So yes, get involved. I think we do a great job of really trying to stimulate different things. It's going to be a big kickoff during the first week where you're going to see almost every single organization doing something. So we really try to promote that and try to get students to come out and participate.
As you all can see from our virtual backgrounds, student engagement is huge on our campus. We host the entire Divine Nine, so, I would suggest looking into that. But if I'm being completely honest with you all, I did not go to a HBCU. I did go to a PWI, and there were certain experiences that I was unable to receive. I was once told that at a HBCU, you are amongst the emerging majority. So you're surrounded with your future lawyers, your future doctors. That is just a powerful experience within itself. And that's something that you should really bask in and take full advantage of. So I am a big proponent of HBCUs. I'm working on my master's at Norfolk State. So I will be an alumni of a HBCU pretty soon. So if I could say one thing, just do your research and please be involved. Please look out to your classmates, your peers, because there are always opportunities for you at a HBCU that you may not necessarily have if you went to a PWI.
Thank you so much. That's really wonderful information. I like to give a warm call. And essentially a warm call is when you ask a question because something is going to be asked of you to respond to coming up. So please be thinking about those of you who are guests. What did you like most in college? What was the most inspiring thing, the takeaway, the aha moment that you gained from college, seeds that you can pass on and plant in the minds of our participants today? I'm going to ask you to open up your mic in just a moment after we get finished with this next question to participate along with the panelists and give a broad view of that experience. So warm call, everyone. It's going to be coming up. In the meantime, I would like to ask a question. I would like real transparency on this too. How good are your professors? Can the students get to your professors if they need help? Are they going to be shunned or shooed away? Will they really get the support that they need when they have a question, when they are struggling? I really need this question to be answered, and I'm sure students and their parents do as well. Anybody can start answering this question.
The culture at most HBCUs are that family environment, that family connection. So majority of the professors at Norfolk State are going to know you by name. Like I said, we're a medium-sized school, so your class sizes are going to be about 20-1. So your professor's going to know if you're missing class. Most of our professors, if students have children, they allow their children to come to class. It's just a big family environment here in NSU. I'm not a professor, but most of my students in the Student Ambassador Organization have my cell phone number, and they text me if anything goes wrong. They feel comfortable coming to me. So at Norfolk State specifically, you will have that connection with your professors. They have office hours. They're always available on their email. We have Outlook, so you will get your Outlook email to chat on Teams and things like that. So they're definitely accessible here at Norfolk State.
Thank you, Ms. Booker.
So the College of Charleston professors are very hands-on. They're accessible in the classroom with their office hours after class, and also you see them at your events. And I always, all the professors that I work with, across campus promoting diversity. I always make sure they understand the importance of being visible, right? Not just being a professor in the class and lecturing you, but I want to actually, if I'm pledging a sorority and I'm coming out, on campus, it'd be great to see one of my professors there, cheering me on, so that visibility kind of creates a relationship, right, beyond the classroom. So I always talk to professors about, those type of interactions, not just in the classroom, but, we have a thing on campus where, through the president's office, where the president actually rewards our faculty members, because traditionally faculty members, let's just keep it real. They teach their class and they go home, right? So the presidents often reward our faculty members who actually go that extra mile to make sure they build those relationships, they have lunch and learns with students, just to kind of build those relationships. So I think most of our faculty and staff members are on board with that. We have our first minority president in school history, Dr. Andrew Shue. So he's changing all those dynamics as it pertains to student to faculty relationships, and making sure that they understand that those relationships, in order for our students to retain at the college, we need to make sure those relationships are strong, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom as well.
Now, I'll second everything that was just said about professors. Our current chancellor is actually the former provost. And so just so you know, the provost is typically the person who's over all the faculty. But by him being the chancellor, there is this expectation that all of our faculty create a level of excellence in terms of their teaching and being accessible. I will say one thing that's been great, the only thing that's been great about COVID has been this automatic thing of all of us definitely being able to be online and being accessible and everything to be able to be mirrored for grades. And we've seen that it actually helps with our retention, because now professors are now updating their Blackboard and we're able to catch students who might not be doing so well to find out if there's any issues early on rather than at the end of the semester. So in terms of the faculty members, a lot of them, I've met them, they're great. In terms of complaints from students, it's nothing more than possibly, maybe some issues with actual coursework, but for the most part, all the faculty, they're ingrained in all the activities, whether it's football games or other extracurricular stuff on campus. So we pride ourselves in our faculty because one of the things too is that, and I don't know if I should say this on camera, but we pay pretty well in terms of at our institution, which helps, right? It helps bring in terms of recruiting good quality professors to come. So I don't know if we could probably, I don't know. It's out there now. So yeah, we pay pretty well. So we actually attract really good professors.
It seems like you put a little plug in there, but we'll take it. We want our students to make sure that they're getting the best when they walk into those classrooms. And what I heard that's common, that the teachers really take the time to get to know their students, and students do have an opportunity to seek understanding when they do not understand. So let's go ahead and move on to our warm call question.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
I do want to say something.
Oh, go ahead,
before
please.
we move on. Our students in particular, minority, Black students, have to take the initiative too. Don't expect your professor to always reach out to you. Take the initiative, build those relationships, stay after class, go to those office hours, because what that does for you, when you do need some assistance, that teacher will remember those opportunities that you took. Remember that you said, oh, you asked for that extra credit. Remember that you came to their office hours. So take the initiative. Don't sit back and be struggling in a professor class and then blame the professor. Those office hours are there for a reason. So take the initiative, take advantage of those opportunities.
Mr. Grimmage, are you on my question sheet? That is absolutely my next question. We're going to circle back to that and spend a little bit more time on that point. That's a whammy. But at this time, I would like for those of you who have considered, what did you like most about college? Or what was the most significant takeaway that you can share with our students to encourage them about college? Anyone who are our guests can open up the mic and share.
This is Christie Murray. I'd love to share about my experience at the Hampton University, my home by the sea. When I was a senior in high school, I went on all these different college trips. And when I hit the campus of the Hampton University, I fell in love. It was something about the atmosphere. It was Hampton's an private school, HBCU. The students were about their business. You could tell that they had a different kind of a air about them. So as I joined Hampton as a freshman, I quickly was not necessarily sobered, but it really hit me that everybody was just as smart, everybody was just as talented, and you have to step up your game. Just because I had a 3-point or 4-point leaving high school, when you go to college, that all is zeroed out and you have to start and bring your best game forward. I love the fact that the teachers and the educators, it was a family environment. They were there to nurture us and help us, but they were not going to do the work for us. So one of the key takeaways that I'll share is that what got you there might not keep you there. So if you escaped through high school and you barely had to study and you didn't really have to crack a book open, that might not be your reality when you get to college. I majored in electrical engineering, and let me just say the pre-calculus and the little taste of physics I received in high school did not compare to the breadth of science classes and math classes that I took in college. So roll up your sleeves. I co-sign what Mr. Grimmage said about taking the initiative. You will not survive the way you might survive, but you might not have the GPA you want if you're not willing to take that initiative and roll up your sleeves and put in the work yourself. Thank you.
Hi, this is Gracie Bowers, and I'm also one of the members of the organization. And I'd like to say how when I started college, I thought I was prepared. But what I learned was actually how to learn. Yeah, I had graduated high school and I thought I did okay. I got accepted into college and thinking I'm doing okay. And that very first semester just made me come to the realization you just don't know half of what you think you know. I did not know half of what they were requesting. And so it taught me that very first year to prepare. It taught me about good note taking. I wasn't one in high school who would be sitting in my books, focused on that. If I got a test next week, I knew about it ahead of time. I may have been the one that was studying maybe the night before, or maybe felt like I knew enough already. I didn't need to study. So it actually taught me how to take notes. And I know I did a great job because I'll never forget one of my professors who told me, he said, I gauge how fast I'm talking by how you're taking your notes. Because he saw my notes, he said, those are good notes. So that's what taught me and helped me to get through.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I was going to just speak about Norfolk State and attending Norfolk State University undergrad. My name is Cassandra Chambliss, and I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated here in Phi Omega in Stafford County, Virginia. I will tell you that I was raised in the Norfolk area, ended up going to Norfolk State undergrad. And one of the reasons that I went to Norfolk State was because of the culture. I believe in family. And I remember when I toured Norfolk State University, I felt like I was a part of family, just as a part of the tour. It was important to me that there was some level of accountability. And I think that's something that an HBCU offers in a different way. Because, back in the day when we were growing up and we were children, if you did something wrong in the community, your neighbor could correct you. They could say, hey, hold on a minute. I know your mom or your grandmother wouldn't like you doing X, Y, Z. And that was part of the culture that was part of the culture that I saw and felt while I was in attendance at Norfolk State. I'm happy to report I am a graduate of Norfolk State University. My nephew is attending Norfolk State University right now. And my daughter, she's a junior in the fall, she wants to attend Norfolk State University. So I do think HBCUs matter. And I think it was important for me to feel like, even though I was in school, that there was a level of accountability, from my instructors and the faculty that really held me accountable. And they kept it real with us too. They told us, hey, certain things are not acceptable when you work into the workplace. I don't care what other people tell you and what other people do. When you have a certain perception and people see you coming in and stepping in a certain way, they have an expectation that we show up differently than others might. So great experience at Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold.
Thank you so much for your feedback. I think we have, I think it's Ayana who would like to share.
Good afternoon. My name is Alana Lewis. And though I graduated from PWI, I am a product of a strong HBCU family. So I definitely recognize the importance of those organizations. And I just want to share that some of the knowledge that I got from college was the significance of utilizing your resources. There are so many resources available at undergrad institutions that are there to help you succeed in every way, whether it be academic coaching, tutoring, mental health resources. There are personal trainers or any type of health activities that can just keep you engaged. And because I know that all of the people that I met during undergrad definitely proved to be some of my lifelong friends. So I just encourage everyone going off to college to just take advantage of your opportunity and just stay connected in every way that you can.
We so
Thank you.
appreciate you coming in and sharing. You're so close to the experience. And I know that the students can appreciate that. On that note, I want to say a thank you, a resounding thank you to Kenyatta Grimmage. He is going to go to his niece's graduation in just a moment. So we want to say congratulations to him, his family, and certainly his niece, and for taking the time to spend this hour or so with us here to talk and encourage other students toward their graduation. Thank you so much. And we're going to end with that conversation that you started before the warm call as you leave this afternoon. Do you have one more thing you'd like to say before you leave us this afternoon?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being on this panel today, supporting the beautiful sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And I also just, I wanted to say something to the audience. What you heard over and over and over again, that family piece, right? Family, family, family. When you talk about HBCUs, I think if I can, the thing that resonated with me was that at HBCUs, support meets you at the front door, right? So that has informed me in my current role at the College of Charleston as associate director. It informs everything that I do. Because I'm cut from the HBCU cloth, it informs the way I operate at a PWI. I make sure that our students understand that if you come to the College of Charleston, because I am there, you will be supported, right? So that goes to all of you guys on this phone call. If you think that you're not going to be supported at a PWI, in particular College of Charleston, parents, don't worry, you're in good hands at the College of Charleston. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Grimmage, and have a wonderful afternoon. And we certainly hope to see you back at another one of our events where we inform students about how to be the best students that they can be. Now, our final question, really just 40 seconds. Tell us 2 things that your school provides to help students be organized. What are your organizational structures that students need to take under their belt immediately to be organized and informed about what they should do in terms of their academics?
Well, one of the first things that happens when you get to North Carolina Central is our orientation session. So we do a very, very thorough orientation session, not just for the students, but for the parents. That is one of the biggest things. And then within that, the very first thing you do after that is meet with an academic advisor. And that advisor is who you're going to have for the next 2.5 years. It'll switch once you get into your major. But those are the 2 things: is your advisor who's going to guide you through the courses, and that orientation. That orientation provides you everything you need to know about everything within the institution. And obviously, most of those times, it's a lot of information, so you're not going to remember, but we go ahead and drill it over and over throughout your first year. So really, it's attending the orientation and being very mindful of the information, and also sitting down with your academic advisor. Those are the 2 things.
Ms. Brooks, Ms. Booker.
I can leave you all with one piece of advice. Please take advantage of the resources that your universities offer you. So here in Norfolk State, we have TRIO programs, we have tutoring, we have writing centers, computer labs. Take advantage of everything we have to offer because we give you the resources that you need to succeed. Here in Norfolk State, we see the future in you before you see it in yourself. So please utilize everything. You're paying for it, so get the best of your experience.
Organization is key. Thank you so much. I just want to quickly thank you once again for the outstanding way you answered the questions with such great transparency. And students and parents, thank you for participating in our chat today. I want to just recap some of the takeaways that I hope some of you walked away with, and you may have your very own, and I encourage you to put those in the chat. I heard our participants talk about making sure that you select your majors, but you don't necessarily have to, but it is encouraged if you want scholarship money. Schools invest in the students, so they take the time to make sure that you have what it is you need. I particularly heard that from each one of the schools, but in terms of tangibles, I heard that from Ms. Booker from Norfolk State. I heard the teacher, the panelists talk about that location is everything. It's important for you to think about who you are as a person and what you really need when you're selecting a college or university in terms of the location, how quickly you can get home, and also where you are. Opportunities are there for you. I heard both of the gentlemen from both schools talk about that. I heard a wonderful takeaway that I'm going to use from now on, that your network is your net worth. You can be sitting beside someone who is going to help you and be a divine connection, if I can, to help catapult you into your next setting. It's so important that you take the time to make sure that your essays are proofread. Make sure that you are applying to the right college when you write that down. You're home by the sea, Hampton University, and there are other slogans that really talk about what that school represents. That's called the culture of a school. Look at the slogans. What are the slogans saying to you, the models of those schools? Those are real indicators about what you can expect. And lastly, I want to talk about dorm life. Your dorm experience, but each one of the schools talked about that they have multiple places for you to stay. Make sure that when you get to selecting your dorms, that if you can, take a visit and make sure you select the best possible place that you can go. You are of value. That's a huge takeaway. The college isn't just because you want them, but they want you. So with that being said, thank you so much, families, for joining us today, students and our guests. This has been a wonderful experience. I hope that you benefited from it. It will be on video for you to share. And at this time, we have Gracie Bowers. She's going to come on and do our closing remarks. I believe it's Gracie. Are you going to do closing today, Gracie?
Sydney is.
Sydney, okay.
Thank you, Sydney. Sydney's is here now to do our closing remarks. Thank you so much for having me. I'm MJ Lambert from Nu Zeta Omega.
Sorry, everyone. Hi, this is Sydney. Let me just get back to where I was, if you forgive me. So thank you again for this fabulous workshop today, this fabulous webinar. Ms. Lambert, I want to thank you for your fabulous facilitation and your very helpful recap of all of the great points that were mentioned today. Kudos to you for that. I want to give everyone an opportunity to take note. There will be a survey sent to you via email. If you have your cell phone up, you can also capture the QR code here. But in email, we will send you a link to the SurveyMonkey, in addition to the slides that you saw today, and registration links for our upcoming events. Your feedback helps us to plan for additional events and think about how we can better serve students like you. Our immediately upcoming event will be held on July 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern, and that will be our essay writing and letters of recommendation webinar. Again, the link will be sent to you via email, but you can register at aka.essay-writing.eventbrite.com. We look forward to seeing all of you. Also, again, we'll have the Virtual Youth College Excellence Summit over 2 days, facilitated by Dr. Christie Murray. I want to reiterate that part about on-the-spot scholarships awarded. That's very exciting. I'm not even applying to school, and I'm excited about that. And then our collaboration webinar recordings. So including this one, you can find it on the Invest in Others LLC YouTube channel. So if you want to go back through our previous topics that we've spoken upon since 2021, just go ahead over to YouTube and find our recordings. I'm sure you'll find some great and useful information there. And now it's time for our student giveaways. So everyone, students in particular, I hope that you've been listening, because I've come up with a few questions about the institutions that we heard from today. And I think that these are questions that you all should be able to answer based upon this very rich discussion. So I'll get into it. I'm going to ask Ms. Vicky to help monitor the chat for the student responses. And I'm looking for students with the first an accurate response. So my first question to you, which one of our colleges sits within the research triangle and boasts relationships with the local institutions in North Carolina? I wish I had some Jeopardy music playing. Looking for an answer. I'm doing a little dance because I'm hearing the music from myself, but not for you. Do we see any answers?
We have a winner on North Carolina Central University, and that was by Noah Harris.
All right, Noah, good listening ears.
Thank you.
All right, Noah. My second question is, I think this is a good one. So only one of our institutions mentioned having a program in tourism and hospitality. Which one of those schools was it? I heard a lot of sciences represented across all three institutions. That was very exciting. A new nursing program at one, but only one institution mentioned hospitality and tourism.
Cal Johnson said the University of Charleston. Is he right?
Yes, he is. Very good.
Thank you, Cal.
Okay. The College of Charleston, that is. So very good. He remembered Charleston.
Yeah, the College of Charleston. Okay.
Yes. Third question. Let's see. Oh, I thought this was very exciting. Which one of our institutions today recently received a grant for cybersecurity and new facilities on their campus? So this college spoke a lot about new buildings, a lot of new innovation, and a new cybersecurity program, and receiving a grant from Joe Biden, President Joe Biden.
Joshua Smith said Norfolk State. Is he right? Is it?
Yes. I'm so glad our students were listening to these very fine details. I'm impressed.
Females, where y'all at? The males are outshining y'all.
Right, they're listening and taking notes, apparently. All right, last question. And this last question is going to be multiple choice. All right. So we talked a lot about the SAT and the ACT and institutions being test optional. Which one of our schools said that they would be test optional for admissions? Was it Norfolk State University? Was it the College of Charleston? Was it North Carolina Central? Or was it all of the above? Which of our schools today mentioned being test optional, meaning that you have the choice to take the SAT or ACT as part of your admissions?
The first respondent was Cal Johnson, and he said all of the above. Is that correct?
Ding, ding. Correct.
I feel like I'm on Jeopardy.
You are. So thank you, students, for your responses. That was four winners. And so we will be reaching out to you to extend your gift card. Our gift cards today were sponsored by Delta Omicron Omega Chapter and Lambda Omega Chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And then we are really grateful to our panelists again for showing up today and sharing so much rich information with us and answering all of our questions about admissions to these wonderful colleges. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And they are sponsored by, unfortunately, this part of my screen is being hidden. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Can someone help me?
Sure, it's Lambda Omega Omega and Alpha Phi Omega chapters.
Thank you so much.
And Miss Cindy, do we have all the email addresses of the respondents to the questions?
That's a great question.
If not, they need to put it in the chat box.
Very good. Ms. Cassandra, would you help me identify if you have everyone's email address?
The only one I don't have is Joshua Smith.
Okay.
And we'd like to ask that Joshua could send Cassandra his physical address and email in a private chat. I don't want to put it in the chat for everyone.
Right. Thank you. Private chat. It says direct message.
And Joshua may be under Delandria Smith. I know he's on separately as well, but his mother was on, so it might be under her information.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions before we depart? Any questions about admissions? Any other questions about #CAP? Any coming up in the chat, Ms. Vicky?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, if there are none, I think that wraps it up for us. Any additional comments from you, Ms. Michelle, or?
We do have one more question. It said, will there be any upcoming events on professional school grads/grad school?
We'll take that as feedback for planning in the future. That's not on our list, but I see Christie writing and making a note of that. I will say that even as an undergrad student, as a high school senior, I was invited out to graduate school conferences to look at graduate schools, just to put my head there and start looking to the future and considering what might be important to me at an institution and considering higher education. So that's great. Start planting those seeds.
And this is Sarah Karen. I just would like to make one statement to the students. Most of the schools were talking about small schools and medium schools. I just wanted to say, even going to a large school, I went to North Carolina A&T, which is the largest HBCU, that we still had a camaraderie. It felt like home. And trust me, your staff, your teachers, your instructors, they knew who you were if you was in their class. So they cared, they pushed us, they motivate us to do all that we could do. So don't be afraid of going to a large school as well. Thank you.
That's a great point.
And I'm going to say this is Gracie, and one of our winners, we thought we had all males, but one of them, Miss Noah, her mother is in my chapter. So if you see Noah Harris, her name, she is a female. So we just wanted to share that.
My apologies. Congratulations, Noah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then one other thing, and it'll be my last comment, when we talk about HBCUs and PWIs, my daughters also went to PWIs, and they did have minority programs her name was Dr. Kate. I'll just tell you right now, she just retired, but she made sure that minority students are taken care of from beginning to end. So it's your choice. Don't be afraid. It's your decision. It's the next 4 years of your life.
That's very important. I'm glad you mentioned that, Gracie, because on most PWI institutions, there is at least one advocate that you have that looks like you, and that's so important to find that person.
You know, with the emergence of equity and diversity in all colleges and universities and also schools in general, you're going to find an equity office and you're going to find a program at PWIs that speaks to the needs of people of color and people of diverse communities. I just want to add that. And lastly, say to everyone, you know, when you were born, there was a college or university that had your name on it. You only have to make a decision to walk in that direction. With that being said, everyone have a wonderful afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you at our future events.
And Joshua, before you hang up, we need your city, state, and zip code. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.